Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
You can also create a measure in Power Pivot for Excel, which was called a calculated field in Excel 2013, to display a summary calculation within the value section of a pivot chart or pivot table that is more complex than the usual functions allow. Normally, the values of a selected column are calculated using the sum function or other aggregate function in the values section of a pivot table or pivot chart. This is what is called an implicit calculated field within a pivot chart or pivot table. However, these types of fields within the normal pivot tables and pivot charts are limited to performing one aggregate function, such as sum, on the field that's placed into the values section. Using measures in Power Pivot lets you create an explicit calculated field from the values within table columns, which you can then add to the values section in a pivot table or pivot chart. For example, if you wanted to display a field within the values section that was the sum of an order total column within a table with a 10% increase to its value as a physical projection, you would need to create that field as a measure within the data model window of Power Pivot. The formula for the measure would look something like equals sum, open parenthesis, open bracket, order total, close bracket, close parenthesis, times 1.10. To create a measure within the Power Pivot data model window, click into the upper left cell within the calculation area shown at the bottom of the data view of the data model. You can select any cell within the calculation area if desired. Some people like to place the measures at the bottom of the columns to which the aggregate calculated field refers. Once you've selected a cell in this area, enter a formula for the measure and then press the Enter key on your keyboard when finished. To rename the measure, you can select the text within the formula bar that appears before the colon symbol and type a new name for the field. Then click the checkmark button in the formula bar or press the Enter key on your keyboard to set the name of the field when finished. Alternatively, you can type the measure name into the formula as you enter it. So using the previous example, you could name the measure projected increase by typing the following into the formula bar for the selected cell. Projected increase, equals, sum, open parenthesis, open bracket, order total, close bracket, close parenthesis, times 1.10. You can use the Insert Function button within the Calculations button group on the Design tab in the ribbon to insert a function versus typing one manually if needed. Once the measure has been created, it can be used within the associated pivot tables and pivot charts in the workbook. Alternatively, to use the Manage Measures dialog box to manage measures that you have created, you can click the Measures button, which is called Calculated Fields in Excel 2013, in the Calculations button group on the Power Pivot tab in the ribbon of Excel. Then select the Manage Measures command in the drop-down menu to open the Manage Measures dialog box. To create a new measure, either click the New button in the Manage Measures dialog box, or click the Measures button in the Calculations button group on the Power Pivot tab of the ribbon in Excel, and select the New Measure command in the drop-down menu in order to open the Measure dialog box. Select the name of the table that contains the field on which the measure is based from the Table Name drop-down. Enter the name of the measure into the Measure Name field. You can then enter the formula to use for the measure into the Formula field. You can click the Insert Function button above this field to select a function to insert into the formula if needed. After entering a formula, you can click the Check Formula button to check for any errors in the formula. Under the Formatting Options section, you can select a type of formatting to apply to the result of the formula. Then click the OK button to create the measure. If you have the Manage Measures dialog box open, you will see the name of the measure appear in the list in the dialog box. To edit a measure, select a measure in this list and then click the Edit button to open the Measure dialog box. You can then edit its contents. You can then click the OK button to create the measure. To delete a measure, select a measure, click the Delete button, and then click the Yes button in the confirmation message box to delete it. When you're finished using the Manage Measures dialog box, you can click the Close button to close it.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.